My wife is scared to go outside. She's scared to take our son in the backyard because she's afraid that she'll be assaulted.
An alleged victim of a hate crime is suing the suspect, her next-door neighbor. What makes this unusual is a criminal trial hasn't even started yet.
KOMO's Matt Markovich has an update on a story that we first told you about back in April.
Hey, Miss Vietnam.
T-Fam is filming her next-door neighbor, Jan Myers, and doing so to document what T alleges are incidents of hate that have been going on for years. Myers is white, T is Vietnamese.
You're not going to live very long.
Court documents say T filmed Myers 2 weeks earlier, giving T and her 2-year-old son the middle finger from Myers' patio next door, and did so wearing nothing below the waist.
And I so scared and shake, and I cry and get in the house and send the video for my husband, and then I called the police, and then after that he had arrested.
Myers was arrested, charged with a felony hate crime, and released until her trial in November, but with a restraining order, which T and her attorney say she's violating.
She's going to not let this happen to her and her child in her home. She's willing to take the stand.
Now T and her attorney have filed a civil lawsuit with a minimum of $100,000 in damages in an attempt to stop the alleged harassment.
I hope this happened to me, not happen with every people. I hope to stop. That I want.
There's been a steady increase in the reports of hate crimes over the last 3 years. The King County prosecutor filed 60 hate crimes in 2020, the highest ever. So far this year, there have been 29.
I called the cops on you, you little slant-eye.
Myers' attorney says they have no comment because they haven't been served in the civil lawsuit.
We're not here to indict the police department. We're here to bring a lawsuit against Jan Myers for her antisocial behavior that's not acceptable in our communities.
In Seattle, Matt Markovich, KOMO News.
So at approximately 5:15 p.m., officers were en route to a disturbance in the 1900 block of 32nd Avenue West. While they were en route to the disturbance, it escalated to a shooting. Police arrived and found a woman outside the residence with gunshot wounds to her legs. Police were able to safely remove her from the area and transfer her over to the Seattle Fire Department. The fire department took her to Harborview Medical Center. When she left the scene, she was in serious condition. At this time, officers have been able to call out all other residents in the household, and they believe that the only person left in the house is the suspect. So we are working on a warrant, and then we will hope to go inside and take the suspect into custody.
How many shots were fired total, do you know?
I don't know that number off the top of my head.
And then we heard rumors that he could have worked at, the shooter could have worked at Albertsons here at Magnolia.
I don't have any information about the family. Also, because this is a domestic violence related issue, there will be less information released because of the sensitive nature of the crime.
How many people were inside the home? Do you know that?
I believe there were 4 total in the house.
Adults, children, mix?
I'm pretty sure they were all adults, but I'd have to double check on that. The suspect and the victim are both adults.
Is there a time frame when you will be going in? When do you make that call? How do you make that call?
We have to wait for a warrant to do things legally, and then we have our SWAT team do this since we're dealing with a possibly armed suspect, and they do things very slowly and deliberately.
And has there been communication with the shooter? And if there has, what's the communication been like?
That's not something I can disclose because this is an active and ongoing investigation.
Is there a judge lined up for to sign a warrant right now?
I don't know what the status is of the warrant, but yes, that is, of course, how the warrant process works.
Is this considered a standoff right now? We saw 4 SWAT cars, trucks moving.
Just because SWAT comes doesn't mean it's something that we necessarily would call a standoff. We do believe that we have a suspect who's barricaded inside of his house, so I think that's probably an accurate way to say it.
Any danger to the community?
At this point, no.
But only one person has been shot.
That's correct.
And that person is that the mother? Do we know that?
At this time, we believe that the victim was the mother and that the suspect was the son. And that's all the information that I've got at this time. Okay.
And the brother wasn't around?
Yeah, that's right. So we're looking out over Lumen Field to T-Mobile Park. We've seen a lot of packed stadium views this summer, and a lot of people have stopped masking too. Health leaders say relaxing things like masking and distancing are contributing to the sudden rise of cases.
It's very disturbing. It's also disappointing because we have a vaccine.
People tell us it's discouraging to see cases climbing rapidly across the state.
A lot of people aren't taking it super seriously.
The data speaks for itself. Over the last 2 weeks, Pierce County is reporting 435 cases per 100,000 people. Snohomish County is tracking 366 cases, with 285 cases in King County for every 100,000. Those numbers are well above the state's goal of fewer than 25 cases per 100,000 people.
A lot of concern for us about not only the number of cases, but how rapidly this has increased.
Dr. Anthony Chen with Tacoma Pierce County Health says case counts are 3.5 times higher in Pierce County than last year. He says more people need to get vaccinated.
Even with mild disease, people can have significant long-term consequences.
Over at Snohomish Health District, Health Officer Dr. Chris Spitter says the Delta variant has been a game changer and has contributed in a big way to the recent surge in cases.
So in short, Delta spreads faster and to more people, and that also makes super spreader events more common too.
Spitter says several months ago, a person with COVID-19 could spread the virus to 2 to 3 other people. But with the Delta strain, a single person can infect closer to 5 to 8 other people if they don't mask or distance.
And the amount of virus in test samples collected from Delta strain patients is about 1,000 times higher than was seen with previous strains.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Johnson from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and all of Western Washington. And don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.